What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction, coming at you with another list of epic collections which are out of stock, which I'm trying to do this video every month, going over Curtis Finlay's Facebook post to the Epic Collection Speculation Discussion at Admiration and Obsession group, which I suggest you join. It's a great group that discusses these old comics. Very fun stuff. Some of the best comic people and the best comic discussion on the internet. It's all strictly the comics, and I can't praise them highly enough. But Curtis puts together a list every month of what's low in stock for the Epic Collections, which is what we primarily read and review on the channel here. And he also does the unavailables, and so he keeps the list going. We're going to really focus on the new ones that are coming out, rather than what's there, because we already did this last month. We had Jared Mayo from his Marvelous box. He does a Marvel sort of a monthly shipment sort of group, and you get some random trade paperbacks. Good stuff. There we go. All right. So here we go. Here's what we got on low stock this month. Black Panther 2, Revenge of the Black Panther, still there. Captain America 3, Bucky Reborn, has joined the list. And if you look, this means that the early Captain America stuff, we got Volume 1 and Volume 4 are sold out. And Volume 3 now is on the low list. So it looks like that early Captain America stuff is pretty much all on its way out. Love that he put Amazon links right here, so we can just click on these real quick. This one contains 120 through 138. And it's the Lee Colan era. I'm not that in love with Gene Colan's art, but it's fine. Number 17 is also on here. Superior Stratagem. This is part of the Mark Grunwald era of Cap. 387 to 397. And then we get a mini-series of Adventures Get Captain America Volume 4. So this is kind of, I believe, 90s stuff. We have Daredevil, Conan Chronicles number 3 is still on here on the low stock. And none of his are out of print right now. Daredevil number 3, Mike Murdock Must Die, is out of print, which means it's the second volume of Daredevil to be out of print. Or I guess it's not out of print, it's low stock. This is the third volume in the Stan Lee stuff. And this is, actually why I say I'm not that into Gene Colan's art. I was reading this volume, and it's just not the best volume, guys. This stuff was a little difficult to get through. Daredevil 21 through 41, annual number 1, and a crossover with Fantastic Four, and that Brand X material right there on this. Jeez. We have 19, Root of Evil. I did a review on this one. This is some of the toughest Epic collections I've had to get through. I would say that Fall from Grace, the volume before this, was even worse. This is also one of those printed by Quad Graphics, so it's got print defects on it and all that. And so if they reprint this, I think a lot of people will be happy to get the reprint version, because the original was not the best quality. So we've got 333 through 344, and then, of course, the Root of Evil miniseries. This is tough one to get through. Maybe they printed less of this. I don't know. But that is what's going on there. Next, we get to Fantastic Four, number 4, Mystery of the Black Panther. These Fantastic Four, old, they're the Lee and Kirby FF. And let me close some of these out. This is just some of the best comics ever made. So it's no surprise that these are going out of print quickly. And if you look, Master Plan of Dr. Doom Volume 2 is out, and Coming of Galactus is out again. It was just added to this list again. And this marks the second time that one's gone out of print. For the longest time, Volume 1 was out of print, and it got a reprint. And that is, that one was going on Amazon for absurd amounts. I think Coming of Galactus might be there too. Let me check. Not too bad yet. So you can still get it for reasonable prices with the reprint. You might want to scoop that one up right now. That's one of those fear of missing out. I think you definitely should grab that. Same with Fantastic Four Volume 2. It's not even, this is a little bit below retail price on Amazon right now. Good stuff to get. All right. Incredible Hulk Volume 3, The Hulk Must Die, is in low stock. This is really good stuff right here. And Volume 4, also The Hands of Hydra. This is after Stan Lee drops the book. And who's the writer at this point? I think it's Roy Thomas. Is it Roy Thomas? I guess I can click on it and find out. Roy Thomas. There we are. Yeah. And Herb Trimpe does most of the art on this. I really enjoyed this volume. This was a lot of fun. Let's see. Is any Hulk stuff? Hulk #1 is out of print, and Hulk 21, The Fall of Pantheon, are currently out of print there. So tough to get the Hulk collection going. Iron Man 16 Wargames. This one was remaindered, so that means it was discounted deeply at various outlets. I actually got my copy for like $12. And so it's, of course, on the low stock list because that probably plowed through a lot of their stock right there. Iron Man, it looks like 15. The volume right after this is out of print. And it just moved from low stock this month, or the volume before this. Miss Marvel 2 is in low stock. So there's only 2 volumes of this one. And this is the conclusion of the Miss Marvel series. So pretty popular with the movie. So that is going there. And then, of course, our last one, we've got Star Wars, the original Marvel Years, Volume 1. This is low stock. This just means there's, just a few copies left at Diamond. I don't know what it exactly means. I think it means 100 or less copies. I don't know exactly how low stock is defined. But there you go. So then we get to unavailable. Still unavailable is Spider-Man No More, Amazing Spider-Man #3, Goblin's Last Stand. That's been out for a while. The Amazing Spider-Man stuff gets reprinted quite a bit, so I wouldn't pay exorbitant prices for those. Avengers 7, Avengers Defenders War, The Final Threat, Judgment Day, Collection Obsessing, Galactic Storm. So a lot of the Avengers stuff is now out of print. I can expect at least a reprint of some of this early stuff. And now we have Avengers West Coast, How the West Was Won, just went out of print. This is the beginning of the Avengers West Coast series. It goes up through, looks like their miniseries, and then volumes 1 through 7 and some tie-in stuff. Captain America, we talked about a little bit. So we've got a lot of Captain America books out of print right now. Daredevil's now got 2 going close to out of print with Heart of Darkness. Doctor Strange 1 and 3. So there's no volume 2 out yet. These don't come out in order, as I mentioned. So the early stuff, the sort of, I guess, 60s and 70s stuff is what's hot for Doctor Strange. Fantastic Four we talked about, but the new Fantastic Four is also out of print. It's been out of print for a little bit now. The Hulk, we got those 2. And then the Iron Fist Volume 1, Fury of Iron Fist is out of print. And I believe this has already gotten a reprint before. So that's very interesting on that level. This is a very good epic collection. I really enjoyed it. Iron Man 1, The Golden Avenger, is out of print. So this has gone out of print before and has seen a reprint. This was one of those ones that was extremely expensive to get for a while there. And it looks like prices have come down. So you might want to grab this before it goes crazy again, especially if you're into that Golden Age stuff. Doom is out of print also. This is a new one. Marvel 2-in-1 was out of print. I think this went out of print just last month or month before that. 70s team up stuff right here. Master of Kung Fu just went out of print. #1. Here we go. And this is a really good one. I just reviewed this recently for the channel and thought it was very enjoyable. Very different stuff than our normal Master of Kung Fu, than the normal superhero stuff that you might see. Moon Knight, the entire series is out of print. This is pretty interesting. So there are only 3 Moon Knight volumes. There is a follow-up in the late 80s, early 90s. I hope they actually go into that with Volume 4. I'm not sure they will. But here we go on this. Volume 1 has seen a reprint already. Geez, I'm getting a lot of messages right now. Sorry about that, folks. And it's not that pricey right now either. So most of these are actually pretty reasonable prices still. Power Man and Iron Fist, like Iron Fist, is out of print. Punisher #2, that was Mike Barron commenting, and Mike Barron wrote both of these volumes. It's my buddy there. He's a really great writer. So I'm glad that his stuff is getting read. It seems like this Kingpin Rules we just did a recent review of. Just went out of print also. Fun stuff. Huge swath of Star Wars stuff remains out of print. Thor, almost all of the beginning stuff. So Volume 2 is the only one that didn't make it, which is really interesting. And I expect these would get reprints, especially when the movie gets closer out. so I wouldn't pay tremendous amounts for these. Thor Volume 17 is also out, and then we've got some more Wolverine and X-Men stuff, which has been out for a while. Now this is like the third time this one's gone out of print. Mutant Genesis. Not sure what the deal is with this one. Well, Amazon doesn't want to load right now. And then we did get a couple of reprints, or at least unavailable. I know Venom got reprinted, which is good because the original version was that quad design again, and it was done very poorly. Legacy, Star Wars Legacy, I guess either they found some copies or did a small print run. Don't know. Mutant Genesis. Okay, so this is Chris Claremont and Jim Lee. So that's why it goes out of print. It's very sought after stuff. All right, tons of new stuff that's moved from low stock. Tons of new books moved to low stock. I think people are reading a lot on the quarantine here. So that is very interesting to see. And so it looks like all these quad, every quad epic is now out of print. So all the bad quad printing is now out of print or close to out of print. So hopefully we get reprints of all those with better paper stock and things like that coming here. And that is about everything for the list today. All right, guys, this is Epic Collection list. Hey, by the way, I make comic books myself. And if you just go to Flying Sparks on Amazon right here, you can start my series. Here's the first issue. For pretty cheap, you can get it $2.99 on Kindle and $6.99 on paperback. I've got it set up so it never goes out of print. You can read these stories forever, and I've actually got up through, even though it says 6 books, I've got volume 7. It's got to be added to the series. So I've got a full line, which is just like these old Epic collections. They are fun stuff, and if you love that Tom DeFalco stuff from the late 80s, early 90s, where superheroes had their own book that they developed in, and the characters really changed, and each issue had its own storyline, and it compounded into a bigger storyline. If you love that old style of storytelling, you are going to really enjoy this. So I urge you to check it out. I'll put the link down below. All right, thanks for checking this out, and I will be back soon with some more videos. Hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what Epic collections you're going to be buying, and pick up those low stock ones.